We all know that naval aviation is a fun and exciting career field, but it doesn't take very long to realize that fun and excitement comes with risk. And when we encounter hazards and mishaps, we report them so that we can prevent recurrence. One of the most important parts of this reporting process is the endorsement. When our chain of command gets to weigh in on the causes of an incident and the recommendations that help prevent future mishaps.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Commander Shannon Martin, call sign Fraggle, and I'm one of the Aviation Safety Analysts at the Naval Safety Center. Today, I want to talk about the endorsement process, how it works, and how it benefits the fleet.
There are two types of endorsements, those for hazards, or HAZREP endorsements, and those for mishaps, or SIR endorsements. Let's talk about HAZREPS first. A HAZREP is the commanding officer's report. Someone has identified a hazard within the squadron that needs to be communicated to the fleet and those that can mitigate the hazard. HAZREPS require endorsement, and squadron ASOs need to contact their controlling custodians to determine the endorsing chain for any one of the following reasons. 1. The situation poses a severe threat to naval aviation, those incidents with an overall risk assessment code, or RAC, of 1 or 2. 2. The incident involves causal factors or recommendations with action agents outside the squadron, with the exception of the brief-all recommendations. 3. A physiological episode associated with cabin pressure or oxygen supply. Or 4. An incident with involved personnel and/or aircraft from more than one reporting custodian. Don't delay releasing a severe HAZREP while waiting for your controlling custodian to set the endorsing chain. Just add your commanding officer as the first endorser. If it is not a severe HAZREP, you should have time to receive the information from the controlling custodian, so you don't need to add the commanding officer. Remember, it's his report. Just start with the next stop in the chain of command and add the endorsing chain prior to release. An SIR is different. It is the Aviation Mishap Board's, or AMB's, report. And to preserve the integrity of the board, the controlling custodian waits until the report is released to coordinate the endorsing chain. In this case, squadron ASOs will add only their own UIC to the endorsing chain when they release the report. Once the report is on the street, the controlling custodian will notify the squadron ASO and the Naval Safety Center with the endorsing chain for the report. For all reports, the first endorser must not release the report until they have the full endorsing chain. What does that mean? Well, if only the squadron's UIC is on the list, that squadron ASO should work with the controlling custodian to obtain the endorsing chain before releasing the endorsement. If any endorser believes the endorsement chain is incomplete or includes unnecessary members, they need to contact the controlling custodian to request a change. Endorsers within the chain of command respond to each causal factor and recommendation. Other endorsers, for example the airfield, ship, or FRC, will respond only to those factors and recommendations pertaining to their part of the incident. If new evidence comes to light during an endorsement, or an endorser believes that the report is incomplete or that all evidence has not been explored, that endorser must reconvene or direct the reconvening of the board. Endorsers reconvene boards because the report is incomplete. No endorser has the authority to ask a board to pull a report for edit, to revisit a causal factor or recommendation based only on the endorser's opinion of the analysis. If an endorser thinks the board got it wrong, the appropriate response is to disagree with the board, providing a reason for the disagreement within the endorsement itself. Endorsers have 15 working days to endorse a report, with the exception of controlling custodians, who have 28 work days.
The Naval Safety Center endorses all Class A mishaps. Once the controlling custodian releases their endorsement, the assigned analyst at the Naval Safety Center prepares a brief, and all available analysts, pilots, NFOs, aviation psychologists, physiologists, and flight doctors, along with appropriate maintainers and the assigned investigator, gather together and roundtable the report
and recommend our response to the Naval Safety Center commander for final endorsement. Submitting endorsements on time improves the fleet's ability to learn from the incident and prevent recurrence. The clock for a recommendation response does not start until final endorsement is complete, with the exception of a Class A mishap where the controlling custodian's endorsement starts the recommendation response clock. Since NAVAIR has 90 sequential days and all other respondents have 30 sequential days to complete their responses, the sooner we complete the endorsement phase, the faster we start the clock and notify the fleet regarding those fixes. Endorsements provide the fleet with leadership's takeaways from the mishap and validate the safety reporting process. Squadrons are more willing to put the time and effort into safety reporting when leadership closes the communication loop through effectively endorsing safety reports. A final recap. All Class A through D mishaps require endorsement along with severe HAZREPS, HAZREP with causal factors or recommendations outside the reporting unit, HAZREPS involving more than one unit, and PHYSEPS involving cabin pressure and oxygen supply. The controlling custodian sets the endorsing chain. Only reconvene aboard if the report is incomplete. Endorse reports in a timely manner so that we can get the complete message to the fleet and we can get to work fixing the discovered problems.
For general information on endorsements, see the OpNav instruction 3750.6 Sierra. For specific information on entering information into WESS, see the WAMR's Operating Guide, Chapters 8 and 9. And if you have questions that can't be answered by either of those guides, contact your aviation safety analyst at the Naval Safety Center. We're happy to help.